Hello everyone and welcome to the Bosky Net Adventure. My name's Jeff. As you can see, I am out once again on the e-bike. I am taking advantage of this type of adventure while the weather is still fantastic. So I'm once again up in the mountains getting ready to set up camp. So in addition to bringing the bike along and just setting out to have a really awesome adventure, it's time to start setting up camp. And tonight, I dug really deep into the collection of items, and I pulled out a piece of vintage gear. No, this is not retro. It certainly is too old to be classic. This is a vintage pup tent. In fact, this one has been in the family for many, many years. This was my father's pup tent. I don't know when he picked it up. I remember as a teenager finding this tent in one of my father's Foot Lockers, and I was very interested in it, and I ended up taking it with me on several scouting adventures, campouts at the beach. I had a real fun time with it. So I figured, why not pull it out, dust it off, and try it out once again. Now this tent does not come with a ground cloth, so I am utilizing the ground sheet from my nature hike tent. Vintage stakes too. I even have the original guidelines too. Alright, let's do a quick walkabout here real quick, because I want to show you some of the coolness of this tent. So first off, when you guy out the sides, you can see it squares off the bottom of the tub there, thus really opening up the inside of the tent. And underneath these flaps is ventilation. And with the back window, there's plenty of ventilation inside the tent. So all this ventilation really helps at keeping the inside of the tent condensation free. But overall, I love this tent. This is a fun one, and I think I'll enjoy camp tonight. I don't know why someone decided that we needed to have two fire pits right next to each other, but we're going to get rid of this one and just build this one up properly and finish setting up camp. Alright, I'm gonna go see if I can collect some firewood, because I do intend on having a fire tonight. My stash from up on the hill was still there. All right, let's get everything set up on the inside of the tent now. As you can see, it is quite spacious in here. This is a big tent. Still a good time to use the old nature hike. And I'm just going to set this off to the side for now. And when I go to sleep tonight, I'll pull it away from the edge. On my last camp out, I actually broke one of the feet on my chair here. So, because I like to 3D print items, I found a new foot that I printed out. We'll see how well that does. And I like this design because, well, it should do a better job at keeping me from sinking into the ground. So this is the maiden voyage of the newly printed feet on this chair. So far, so good. All right, everyone. I'm getting a little hungry. I need to start a fire in order to cook dinner tonight, so let's get that going. Some charcoal briquettes. All right, so as you can see, I put a potato on the fire. I'm gonna have a baked potato tonight. And what goes good with baked potatoes? Why, a 6-ounce bacon wrapped tenderloin filet goes good with a baked potato. So I put some briquettes out onto the fire too to get those going. And once those are set, we'll grill up the steak. I'm kind of going all out tonight. It's been a while since I've had steak out on a camp, and I was really wanting some steak, so we're going to do that up tonight. So, baked potato, steak, and to go with that, Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts. You may not like them, but I love them. So I'm going to pan fry these guys up, and they are going to be quite tasty. So I've prepared these, and they've kind of been marinating all day in olive oil and garlic, of course. So those are going to be tasty. Going to pan fry those up, but right now, just waiting for the charcoal to get ready. Realizing now that I forgot all of my eating utensils. So what do I have? I have my spatula so that I can cook my Brussels sprouts. I have some tongs so I can cook my steak. And then I have a big stinking knife. I guess I'll use that to cut the steak too. Oh well, what are you gonna do? That's part of the adventure, right? Alright, so I think I've got all of the cameras set up. I'm just going to pull the curtain back here just a little bit. I've got a steak I got to cook. I've got Brussels sprouts that I got to cook up. And I kind of want them all to finish around the same time so that everything's just nice and warm. So hopefully this works. I'll switch back and forth in between all the cameras just to give you guys a decent enough show. But I do think the charcoal is ready, and I'm going to go ahead and move the grill over into the fire, get the steak on, start getting the pan warmed up, and we'll get to cooking. I've got the grill set up so that I can have some really direct heat, as well as a nice cool side, so that when the steak is done, I can just pull it off to the side. Some oil in the pan. Okay, I think that is warm enough. Let's get our sprouts in. The first thing we're going to want to do is get all of these guys face down. Just like that. Yeah, so I just keep peeking under the Brussels sprouts here. Just checking on them. All right, let's bring you in closer to these Brussels sprouts now. Now that the steak is done, see, those are starting to get the color that I like on them. Looking great. And if the leaves fall off, that's okay. They are still very, very yummy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. Yep, that's what we're looking for. Just kind of a good char on those. So, once you start getting a char on them like that, we want to turn down the heat. because now I like to glaze my Brussels sprouts. So inside of here, I have a little bit of teriyaki and just a little bit more soy sauce in it, just to thin it out a bit. And so we'll just go ahead and add that. Just on there like that. And that's probably all I'm going to add. That was maybe a tablespoon's worth. Those are the Brussels sprouts. So we'll kill the heat. Pull the stove out of the way here. And just set it off to the side. I also forgot a plate, so we'll just eat out of the frying pan. But let's go ahead and get everything plated up. There's our steak. And the green onions too. And I've got to eat this thing kind of like a Neanderthal tonight. We'll give it a try. Let's try one of the Brussels sprouts first. That was really good. Exactly how I like them. And now, let's cut in to this steak. Really good. All right, so like I said, I gotta eat this thing kind of like a Neanderthal tonight, and that ain't gonna be a pretty sight. So, I'm gonna enjoy my dinner. How about you guys enjoy nature for a moment, and we'll be back with you a little bit later on. All right, everyone. Back from dinner. Dinner got a little bit interesting there. Not only did I have to eat like a Neanderthal, but just at the tail end of making everything, like this huge swarm of bees came. I mean, at one point, you know, there was about 20, 25 bees just hanging around right here. So you saw me, I ended up moving the table back over there because they weren't at the food, they were all at the rocks here. I didn't get what was going on. But they ended up following me over there too. That's when they got interested in the food that I was eating. So after I turned off the cameras, I ended up just picking up the pan full of food and just went for a walk, eating my food and everything else. That kept all the insects away, and whatever they were interested in, I just left them alone and went and enjoyed my dinner. So that was interesting. I don't have a good track record with bees, so I'm not allergic to them or anything else like that. Just last summer I was out riding my bike, and one of the, I guess, call it occupational hazards when you're out riding is the chance on occasion to get a bug in your mouth. Well, I was riding down the trail, and the bug that happened to fly into my mouth was a wasp. So here I am riding my bike, I'm braking, trying to get this bee out of my mouth, I'm spitting, and successfully, unsuccessfully, you know, I get it out of my mouth, I spit it out of my mouth, but not before it stung my tongue on its way out. So good thing I was already on my way home, because instantly my tongue went numb, and it was numb for the rest of the afternoon. So it was a real big bummer. So since then, I've learned to keep my mouth more shut as possible when I'm out riding my bike. But that was quite an experience. So, you know, I got the ambiance lights up. I've stoked the fire. I've got a mug of water warming up. Gonna make myself some hot chocolate and have a treat tonight. Oh my goodness. And I think that's probably just about set. So we'll just go ahead and turn the fuel off there here real quick. But I've absolutely been enjoying my evening. Quite a bit of time has passed, but the fire is going quite nice, and that is enjoyable to say the least. I really do my best to try to keep a really clean camp, just so that I'm not having to deal with all kinds of pests or anything else like that. But I don't know what it was about those bees. They were just interested, and they came a-swarming. So a lot of time has actually passed since dinner. I think I finished up dinner somewhere around 6:30, and it's 8:30 now. So I actually had quite a bit on my plate to do tonight. I'm filming some other reviews and content. You know, this is the 4th campout with the Sequoia, and I figured it was about time that I provided to you all kind of a review of sorts. I'm calling it my 5 hits and 5 misses with the Rattan Sequoia. And just to give you guys, you know, just some honest opinions and honest thoughts about it. Spoiler, I love coming on these adventures, and it's been able to bring me to all of them, and it's done a really good job at it. Is it the most perfect bike out there? No, certainly not. I don't know if there is a perfect bike out there. Perhaps there are perfect bikes out there. They're just probably way more expensive than this one. But look for that coming soon. Like I said, it'll be after this camping video. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but there is some significant traffic out on the road right now. Two guys on motorcycles talking to each other. Couldn't quite make out what they were saying, but it looked like they were having a good time. This is my second time using the Otolan stove, and so far, so good. I really like it for the stability, wide base, all these times where I want to make something in the frying pan, right? That's really what it's really good for that. It's not necessarily cold out here. Now that I have the shaved head, yes, the head does get cooler. That's why I'm wearing the beanie. Still short sleeves. Fire's just cranking off some great heat. We'll just keep that all nice and stoked up and just keep it going for the evening. This is mega headlamp. Mandy calls it the headlights. It's pretty dang bright. But I figured since I had it in my arsenal of lights that I would bring it along on one of these biking adventures, just because I do have to, once again, gotta get up early, so I'll most likely be traveling in the dark again. Not to mention, as we chase this year to completion, we're also chasing the amount of light that we have early in the morning away. At least until October comes, right? But yeah, it'll be an early one in the morning. But I'm used to those. I think by now you're all used to them. And it doesn't bother me much. I'm normally an early riser to begin with. Alright, well everyone, as you can see, this tent is spacious. I'm loving this. It's really nice to be able to take this thing back out on adventures. I'm glad I chose it for this evening. But I've just been absolutely enjoying myself, just sitting back, relaxing by the fire, enjoying the hot chocolate and the treats, and just the all-around atmosphere of this all. This has just been a fantastic adventure. And as always, I appreciate you all joining me. So I'm just going to call it a night. It's currently 10:30. I got a shot of the temperature here before getting into the tent. As you guys can see, it's just around 64, so it's absolutely comfortable and enjoyable. But I'm going to start crawling into bed. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you all in the morning. Good night now.
Good morning, everyone. It was nice sleeping in this palace last night. Oh my goodness. What a lot of room in here. Wasn't too bad of a night. Not a lot of traffic on the road past 11. So it was actually quite a... Excuse me. So it was actually quite a quiet night. Shortly after going to bed, though, there was an owl that came into the neighborhood. And he just started hooting up a storm. And it was absolutely awesome to listen to. And you could hear all of the other critters out there kind of rustling to find safe shelter. 'Cause he was definitely on the hunt, for sure. So that was just fun to listen to. So I slept well. There were occasions last night where I could hear the winds start blowing through the tops of the trees. Not too bad, though. Not too big a gust. Just, it was noticeable. But again, to me, it was just all part of the experience and soothing. So I really enjoyed it. But it is time to start getting up. I'll start getting things all packed away, all situated, and we'll start heading down the trail.
Just like that, the inside's all packed up. Let's start loading it onto the bike and take down the tent. This should be an easy, quick morning. That's early, a car's coming by. It's 5:15. Oh my goodness. Apparently I'm not the only early riser. I like to take the time to wind up on my guy ropes, leave them attached to the tent, and this prevents me from having a tangled up mess in the future. 57, 58 degrees. Yeah, it didn't get too cool last night. I mean, for some that's cool, but for me that's just awesome. All right, everyone. I'm all packed up, just about to throw on the backpack. This has been a fantastic adventure as always. I really enjoyed the fire last night. It was really soothing. It was really awesome. Enjoyed sleeping in the pup tent. It was a, vintage experience. So I really loved that. Dinner was fantastic too. You really can't go wrong with a steak, baked potato, and some Brussels sprouts, in my opinion. So that was really tasty. So, overall, just had a wonderful experience. I hope you enjoyed the adventure too. If you like the content that I'm providing, be sure to like and subscribe. It would really help the channel. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or you just want to chat, hit me up down in the comments section down below. I always look forward to hearing from you. I'm going to start heading down the trail now. Thanks for joining me. Bye.